Hala Sunni, Escoran. Have I missed anyone out any country out? That's good, isn't it? Okay, welcome to the first session of this Knife Awareness program. And what can I say? I think to yourselves and the organisers, you deserve much credit. This is a great event, young and old, intergenerational, practitioners, volunteers, academics, everyone's here. So, as you can hear, I'm born and bred in Sheffield. That was a joke, by the way. Why is a drummer like me and my colleague over there, why have we come on a Saturday, on our day off, 100 miles approximately, to come and talk to you good selves around this critical subject? I'll tell you why. That's why. Now, I didn't do that with my eyes, because I know you thought I was Superman, I've got a remote here. Okay, but for me, violence is one of the drugs. People talk about drugs as in weed and alcohol and whatever. But violence for me, I see it as a drug. Why do I see it as a drug? Because some people just read about it in the metro or in the free newspapers or watch it in the films or hear about it in the news. I see the results of it week in, week out. So, like a day like today, I will jump on a train and I'll go to a place very much similar to this, very clinical, well built up, and I'll get to the reception and they'll say to me, "Oh, thanks Ray, do you want to come to the staff room?" I'll go to the staff room and I'll look at who I'm speaking to that night or I'm working with on a one-to-one on that day. And I'll walk down the corridor, very much like this place, and I'll get to a classroom and I'll walk in, and just before walking, I'll look at the sheet and I'll see who's there. They're 12, 13 years old. It's an education department. In fact, it's a school if you want to call it that. But it's not a school like you and me know, it's a school within a children's prison. And then I walk into that room and I see a 13-year-old, 12-year-old who's on a murder charge or attempted murder charge and have just been sentenced to 15 years or 18 years in prison. But when I walk into the room, I don't see a murderer, ladies and gentlemen. I see this child. Because he no longer is around man then. There's no gangs, there's no poor parenting, there's no shutters outside his house. He can go back to being a child then. But guess what? It's too late. And this is the thing, you see. Why have I come out here on a Saturday? And we took me and my colleague Craig, welcome. Me and my colleague Craig talking about just now over there the importance of these events. The importance of these events. You cannot measure it. No problem. You cannot measure it. The importance of these events. Why? Because if one of you gets the message, or one of you can translate that message or filter that message down to your son, your daughter, your nephew, your niece, or your brethren, then I've done what I'm here to do today. But as I can see, you've been eating, like myself, you've been eating loads of cake today, so can you all stand up, please? Come on, everybody. I have to do this. When I see people with their bellies full, I have to do this. Okay. Now, interesting. First silly question of the day. Can you see me? Even if I turn to the side and try and hide behind this lady? Okay. Alright, I'm going to stand. Okay, then. Okay. So, can you all give me a right fist like this, please? Everybody in the room, including the children and the adults. Okay, excellent. Everybody, okay. Now, the scary thing is some of you have got your left hands up. Well, you'll work through that as years go by. Okay, excellent. Let me hold that box to you. You don't have to need over hand. Excellent. Okay. What you done? Okay, now with your left hand, now depending on how you view the world, give me a peace sign or a trigger finger. So we've got some peace here, we've got some peace. Okay, I'm not sure if you know, but that's actually a square, so you might want to turn that around so you. Okay, we've got some trigger fingers. Okay, we've got a young, look at that beautiful young man, Marshall, at the back with a peace sign. That's amazing. Okay, now, what I want you to do, I want you to extend your left hand as far as you can go. That's great. Come on, big man there. Yeah, right fist. Don't worry, you don't have to pledge allegiance to the Knife Awareness Project yet. That comes next year. Okay, now what I want you to do is turn to someone in the room who you don't know and give them a wave. Go. Okay, excellent. Even better. See, this is easy. Okay, now, here's the most important part. Keep your hands up, left hands up, right fist. Right fist, left hands up, okay. Now what I want you to do is slowly take your left hand, slowly bring it down. Okay, excellent, put it on your chin, go. That's great. That's beautiful, because that's your chin. Oh my goodness. Exactly, my God, sit down. Sit down, exactly. Sit down, please. So, what you see there, I can feel the dirty stairs, so I'm going to pass it back. Okay. Well, that's what you see there is the perfect example of a social experiment. The young lady here said, what did you say?
I listened to you.
Excuse me? You listened to me. She listened to me, you didn't follow me. So what you saw there is exactly what happens in terms of sociology, in terms of us as humans. So let me take you back. August 2011, what happened? What happened? Riots. So what you had was young men, in some cases, and women, and adults, never been involved with the criminal justice system, never been known to the police. And someone just blackberried them and said, Blood, you want to grab a TV from Corey's? And they've run down to Corey's, and that was a girl by the way, they've run down to Corey's, grabbed the TV with 400 CCTV cameras around. Think about it. And that's exactly how violence works. When violence becomes dominant culture, it's a dangerous thing. But don't worry about it, that's not me on Saturday nights. Okay? But this is a perfect example of what I'm getting at. I do this every week. Sometimes I'm always in different parts of the country, sometimes I'm out of the country. This is what I do. I discuss behaviour and I deconstruct behaviour. And one time I was in London doing some work, training some social workers, some teachers, community safety officers, police, and there was this beautiful woman sitting in my session. You could tell she was well looked after. You know, I'm not saying that social workers look a certain way, but she stood out. Alright? So no offense to any social workers in the room. Okay. And in the break, so I did the training in the morning, and in the break, she remained behind, and everyone went for their lunch. Now, she said, Ray, can I ask you a question? Now, obviously, with my male ego, I thought she was going to ask to marry me.